Ninja, don't you be smug with me. No. That's rude. How dare you? Hello guys, welcome. Hi guys, Anya. Let's get the music going. There we go. Hee. Let me go down the list real quick. Emma, thank you for collecting your daily paw. And Ninja, thank you for collecting your daily paw. How are you guys doing today? Welcome on in. Everyone's having a wonderful weekend so far. I've been incredibly tired today, but we are here, we are reading, and we're going to enjoy our time. Here we go. Okay, we're good. Okay, there we go. I'm actually gonna turn that down just a tad. There we go. Oh, everyone's having a wonderful weekend already, and also had a really nice week as well. I had a little bit of a rough week, truthfully, but I am here now, and we are here to do some bedtime stories tonight to wind down the rest of the week, or rest of the weekend here with bedtime stories. Well, I'm super excited. I'm also gonna fix that real quick because that's actually kind of bugging me real quick. There we go. That's better. Okay, there we go. Evening. Hi, Ninja. Welcome. Don't you be smug with me, you little turd. Everyone's having a wonderful day today and a nice week as well. But in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and start reading some more Warriors. It's been, I think, almost roughly about 2 weeks since we last left off with Warriors. So I'm super excited to be hopping back into reading this with you guys. Doing a nice little quiet time. Nice little quiet time with everybody here. Why is that stuck? There we go. I don't know why that was stuck. I'm busy tonight, but I need to keep up my stream streak, so no worries, Mom. I appreciate you coming by regardless, my dearie. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Are you available? Am I available for what? Hi, Rodin. Welcome in. How are you doing tonight? Welcome. You're having a wonderful day and a wonderful week as well. Ask Green? Huh? What do you mean, Ask Green? I'm confused now. Hi, Phantom. Welcome back. Hi. I need to kidnap you to the casino. Robin, if I had the money, I would definitely go to the casino right now, honestly. I would play the slots I would play the slots. I'm gonna be so real. I'm trying. It's not easy. This is my only... Is it quiet stream time? Yeah! It's ASMR bedtime stories tonight. It is. We're doing bedtime stories tonight, Phantom. This is a new thing I started a while back, and yeah, bedtime stories. This is something I did a couple months back, and I haven't had a chance to do another one because Twitch is very particular about the books I read, unfortunately, or what is available to read on stream here. So I had to be very careful about the next book I picked for stream here. And I picked one from when I was back in middle school, which is the Warrior series, which I'm super excited about. And to go 99, yeah, it's that kind of day. It's that kind of weekend. Let's spend at a strip club. Rhoda, no, you're not. No, you are not allowed to go to a strip club. That is illegal. No, you are my son. You are not going. Yeah, we're doing some bedtime stories today. It's been about I think 2 weeks since last time I did Last Warriors reading. So we're gonna hop right back into it. So everybody, why am I not? 1 second. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's go ahead and get started, shall we, Chuck? We are officially on chapter 10. We're doing 5 chapters a day and looking ahead actually of the next couple chapters. They are relatively kind of short, so we're going to see how long the stream's going to be. We'll get up to chapter 15 tonight and then we'll cut it there and we'll continue tomorrow. Wanna hop into it, shall we? Get comfy, get cozy, enjoy the bedtime stories. By the following morning, a thin drizzle soaked the treetops and dripped down into the camp. Firepaw woke up feeling damp. It had an uncomfortable night. Oh my gosh. 1 second, I'm so sorry, chat. Right as we start. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Maisie was at my door. Okay, let's continue. Sorry about that, chat. Let's continue on. Firepaw woke up feeling damp, and it had been an uncomfortable night. He stood up and shook himself vigorously, fluffing out his fur. Then he left the apprentices' den and trotted across the clearing to Yellowfang's nest. Yellowfang was just stirring. She lifted her head and squinted at Firepaw as he approached. My bones ached this morning. It's been raining all night. It's just after moon high, Firepaw replied. He reached out and prodded her mossy nest cautiously. Your bleeding is soaking wet. I'm sorry. Your bedding is soaking wet. Why don't you move nearer to the nursery? More sheltered there. What? And be kept awake all night by those meowing kits? I'd rather get wet, Yellowfang growled. Firepaw watched her circle stiffly on her mossy bed. Then at least let me fetch you some dry padding, he offered. Mean to drop the subject of kits if it upset the old she-cat so much. Thank you, Firepaw, replied Yellowfang quietly, settling down again. Firepaw felt stunned. He wondered if Yellowfang was feeling alright. It was the first time she had thanked him for anything, and the first time she had not called him Kitty Pet. Well, don't just stand there like a startled squirrel. Go and fetch some moss, she snapped. Firepaw's whiskers twitched with amusement. This was more like Yellowfang. He was used. Oh my goodness, I can't read. I'm so sorry. This was more like the Yellowfang he was used to. He nodded and sprinted off. He almost crashed into Speckletail in the middle of the clearing. This was the queen who had watched Yellowfang's angry outburst at the tabby kit the day before. Sorry, Speckletail, Firepaw mewed. Are you on your way to see Yellowfang? What would I want with that unnatural creature? Replied Speckletail crossly. Actually, it's you I was looking for. Bluestar wants to see you. Firepaw hurried toward the high rock in Bluestar's den. Bluestar was sitting outside, her head bobbing rhythmically as she licked gray fur below her throat. She paused when she noticed Firepaw. How is Yellowfang? Today, he meowed. Bedding is wet, so I was going to fetch her more, Firepaw replied. I also wanted the queen to see to that, Bluestar. Bluestar gave her chest another lick and then eyed Firepaw carefully. Is she fit enough to hunt for herself yet? She asked. I don't think so, Firepaw meowed. But she can walk well enough now. I see, meowed Bluestar. She looked thoughtful for a moment. It is time for you to return to your training, Firepaw. So you'll need to work hard to make up for the time you have lost. Great. Thank you, Bluestar. Firepaw stammered. You will go with Tiger Claw, Greypaw, and Ravenpaw this morning. Bluestar continued. I've asked Tigerclaw to assess the warrior skills of all our apprentices. Don't worry about Yellowfang. I'll make sure someone sees to her while you are gone. Firepaw nodded. Now, come join your companions, Bluestar ordered. I expect they're waiting for you. Thank you, Bluestar. Firepaw mewed. He turned with a flick of his tail and darted towards the gem. Bluestar was right. Greypaw and Ravenpaw were both waiting for him by their favorite tree stump. Greypaw looked stiff and uncomfortable, his long tail fur clumped by the dampness of the air. Ravenpaw was pacing around the tree stump, lost in thought, the white tip of his tail twitching. So, you're joining us today, Greypaw called as Firepaw approached. Someday, huh? He shook himself roughly to get rid of the clinging wetness. Yes, Bluestar told me that Tigerclaw is going to assess us today. Are Sandpaw and Dustpaw coming too? White Storm and Darkstrike took them out on warrior patrol. I suppose Tigerclaw is going to look at them later, Firepaw answered. Come on, we should get going, urged Ravenpaw. He had stopped pacing and now hovered beside them anxiously. Fine by me, meowed Greypaw. Hopefully some exercise will warm me up a bit. The three cats trotted through the gorse track and out of the camp. They hurried to the sandy hollow. Tigerclaw had not arrived, so they hung around the shelter of a pine tree, their fur fluffed up against the chill. Are you worried about the assessment? Firepaw asked Ravenpaw. As the young cat padded backward and forward with a quick, nervous paw step. There's no need to be. You're Tigerclaw's apprentice, after all. When he reports back to Bluestar, he's going to want to tell her how good you are. You can never tell a Tigerclaw, young Ravenpaw, still pacing. For goodness sake, sit down, Greypaw grumbled. At this rate, you'll be worn out before we begin. By the time Tigerclaw arrived, the sky had changed. The clouds looked less like thick gray fur and more like soft white balls of down that queens used to line the nest of their newborns. Blue skies couldn't be far behind. The breeze that brought the softer clouds carried fresh chill. Tigerclaw greeted them briskly and launched straight into the exercise details. Lionheart and I have spent the last few weeks trying to teach you how to hunt decently, he meowed. Today, you'll have a chance to show me how much you have learned. Each of you will take a different route and hunt as much prey as possible, and whatever you catch will be added to the supplies in the camp. What's going on over here? Sorry, 1 second, chat. Okay, we're good now. Sorry, I got a random notification from Discord. Okay, continue on. Sorry about that. The three apprentices looked at one another, nervous and excited. Firepaw felt his heart begin to beat faster as the prospect of a challenge. Ravenpaw, you will follow the trail behind the great sycamore as far as the snake rocks. That should be easy for your pitiful skills. You, Greypaw, Tigerclaw continued, will take the route along the stream as far as the Thunder Path. Great. Yeah, Greypaw. But pause for me. Tigerclaw's stare silenced him. And finally you, Firepaw. What a shame. Your great mentor couldn't be here today to witness your performance for herself. You shall take the route through the tall pines, past the tree-cut place, to the woods beyond. Firepaw nodded, frantically tracing the route in his head. Remember, Tigerclaw finished, fixing them with all of his pale-eyed stare. I will be watching all of you. Ravenpaw was the first to sprint away toward the snake rocks. I gotta look a different track into the woods, leaving Greypaw and Firepaw alone in the hollow, trying to guess who Dark Claw would follow first. I don't know why he thinks Snake Rock is an easy route. Now Greypaw. The place is crawling with adders. Birds and mice stay away from there because there are so many snakes. What is she going on about? 1 second, chat. I'm so sorry. 1 second, guys. I totally forgot to mute that. Sorry about that. But Rasta, thank you so much for the 3-month streak. I appreciate you. Thank you, my dearie. Hello, hello. Welcome on in. How are you doing tonight? Hello, hello. How you doing, my dearie? Welcome, welcome. It's good to see you. Hello. Hi, hi. Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. My cat is gonna be staring at me through the doorway for some reason because she doesn't want to come in here, so this is gonna be a fun time. And I really hope my microphone's not gonna pick up anything from like background noise on my end. I do apologize. I'm exhausted from work. I feel that. Well, you're just in time for some bedtime stories, so hopefully you're able to wind down and listen to the soft voice of Mimi. Yeah. I also would be having a cat staring at me from the doorway who refuses to come into my room and sit with me because she is dark. I'll probably drag her in here eventually as she keeps us up. Okay, anyway, let's continue on, shall we? I hope you had a nice day at work, Rasta. It's good to see you, my dear. Okay. Let's see. This place is crawling with adders. Birds and mice stay away from there because there are so many snakes. Ravenpaw will have to spend his whole time trying not to get bitten. Firepaw agreed. Oh, he'll be okay. Now, Greypaw. Not even an adder would be fast enough to catch Ravenpaw at the moment. What's going on now? With all these bots in Discord, I gotta turn Discord off for the night. Actually, hold on, chat. I'm so sorry. One more time. I promise this will be the last distraction for the night. I'm gonna close my door because Maisie's just not sitting where she needs to be sitting. distraction of the night from my cats, I promise. Macy's is gonna have to sit out there and cry all she wants because for some reason she does not want to come in and sit with me like she usually does. She just wants to sit out there and just cry. Alright, anyway, let's see. Here we go. Continue on, shall we? Be fast enough to catch Ravenpaw at the moment. Though jumpy. Better get going. See you back here later on. Luck. Greypaw raced off towards the stream. Firepaw paused the air, then bounded up the side of the hollow and began to head for the tall pines. It felt strange to be going in this direction, toward the two-legged place he had been raised. Cautiously, Firepaw crossed a narrow path into the pine forest. He looked through the straight rows of trees, across the flat forest floor, alert for the sight and scent of prey. The moment caught his eye. It was a mouse, scribbling through the pine needles, remembering his first lesson. Firepaw dropped into a stalking position, keeping his weight in his haunches. His paws lay on the ground. The technique worked perfectly. The mouse didn't detect Firepaw until his final leap. With one paw, he killed it swiftly, and he buried it so that he could pick it up on his return journey. Firepaw traveled a little farther into the tall pines. The ground here was deeply rutted by the tracks of the huge two-legged monster that tore down the trees. Firepaw took a deep breath, mouth open. The monster's acid breath had not touched the air here for a while. Firepaw followed the deep tracks, jumping across the ruts. They were half filled with rain, which made him feel thirsty. He attempted to stop and take a few mouthfuls, but he hesitated. One lap of that muddy trench water, he'd taste the monster's foul-smelling tracks for days. He decided to wait. Perhaps there would be rainwater puddled beyond the tall pines. He hurried onward through the trees and crossed a two-legged path on the far boundary. He was back amid the thick undergrowth of the oak woods. He moved onward until he found the puddle and lapped up a few mouthfuls of fresh water. Firepaw's fur began to prickle with some extra awareness. He recognized sounds and scents familiar from his old watching place on the fence post. He knew instantly where he was. These were the woods that bordered the two-legged place. Must be very close to his old home now. Ahead, Firepaw could smell two legs and hear voices, loud and raucous like crows. There was a group of young two-legs playing in the woods. Firepaw crouched and peered ahead through the ferns. Sounds were distant enough to be safe. He changed directions, skittering the noises, making sure he was not seen. Firepaw stayed alert and watchful. Not just two legs. Shadowclan might be somewhat nearby. He thought he heard a twig snap in the bushes behind him, as if the air would spell nothing new. Is being watched now? He wondered. Out of the corner of his eye, Firepaw sensed movement. First he thought it was Tireclaw's dark brown fur. But then he saw a flash of white. He stopped, crouched, and inhaled deeply. The smell was unfamiliar. It was a cat, not a ThunderClan cat. Firepaw felt his fur bristle with the instincts of a clan warrior. He would have to chase the intruder out of ThunderClan territory. Firepaw watched the creature moving through the undergrowth. He could see his outline clearly as it skittered between the ferns. Firepaw waited for it to wander nearer. He crouched lower, tail waving back and forth in a slow rhythm. The black and white cat neared. Firepaw rocked his haunches from side to side as he prepared to spring. One more heartbeat, and he leaped. The black and white cat jumped in the air, terrified, and raced through the trees. Firepaw gave chase. Kitty pet, he thought. as he raced through the undergrowth, smelling his fierce scent. In my territory. It was closing in rapidly on the fleeing animal, and it slowed its headlong rush, preparing to scramble up the wide mossy trunk of a fallen tree. Blood roaring in his ears, Firepaw leaped onto its back in a single bound. Firepaw could feel the cat struggling beneath him as he crept on with his claws. A desperate and terrified yowl. Firepaw released his grip and backed away. The black and white cat cringed at the foot of the fallen tree, trembling, and looked up at him. Firepaw lifted his nose, feeling a ripple of disgust at the intruder's easy surrender. He saw a plump house cat with its round eyes and narrow face, very different from the lean, broad-headed cats Firepaw lived with now. And yet something about this cat seemed familiar. Firepaw stared harder. He sniffed, drawing in the other cat's scent. I don't recognize the smell, he thought, searching his memory. Then it came to him. Smudge, he meowed out loud. How do you know my name? Stammered Smudge, still crouching. It's me, Firepaw meowed. House cat looked confused. We were kittens together. I lived in the garden next to you, Firepaw insisted. Rusty? Rusty? Yelled Smooch in disbelief. Is that you? Did you find the wildcats again? Or are you living with new housefolk? You must be if you're still alive. I'm called Firepaw now, Firepaw meowed. He relaxed his shoulders and let his fur fall flat into a sleek orange pelt. Much like Flex too, his ears perked up. Firepaw? He echoed, amused. Well, Firepaw, it looks like your new housefolk don't need to feed you enough. You certainly weren't this scrawny last time we met. I don't need 2 legs to feed me, Firepaw replied. I've got a whole forest of food to eat. 2 legs? Housefolk. That's what the clans call them. Smudge looked bewildered for a second. An expression changed to one of the complete astonishment. You mean you're really living with the wildcats? Yes, Firepaw paused. You know, you smell different. Unfamiliar. Unfamiliar? Smudge echoed. He sniffed. As you're used to the smell of those wildcats now. Firepaw shook his head, as if to clear his mind. That we were kittens together. Did you know your smell like I'd know the smell of my birth mother? And Firepaw remembered. Smudge had passed 6 moons. No wonder he looked so soft and fat. It smelled so strange. We've been to the cutter. The vet. Smudge shrugged his plump black shoulders. So, he mewed. Firepaw was speechless. The Bluestar was right. Come on then. What's it like, living wild? Smudge demanded. Is it good as you thought it'd be? Firepaw thought for a moment about last night, sleeping in a damp den. He thought about moss bile and clearing away Yellowfang's dirt, and trying to place both Lionheart and Tacklehaw at once during training. He remembered the teasing he suffered through his kitty pet blood. He remembered the teasing he suffered through his kitty pet blood, and he remembered the thrill of his first catch, of charging through the forest in pursuit of a squirrel, and of a warm evening's breath the stars sharing tongues with his friends. I know who I am now, he meowed simply. Smudge tipped his head to one side and stared at Firepaw, literally confused. I should be getting home, he meowed. Mealtime soon. Go carefully, Smudge. Firepaw leaned forward and gave his old friend an affectionate look between the ears. Smudge nuzzled him in return. And stay alert. There may be another cat in the area who is not fond of kitty pets. House cats, as I am. Smudge's ears flickered nervously at these words. He looked around cautiously and leaped up onto the trunk of the fallen tree. Goodbye, Rusty, he meowed. I'll tell everyone at home that you're okay. Thank you, Saribot, for getting rid of those bots. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. I'll tell everyone at home you're okay. Bye, Smudge. Yelled Firepaw. Enjoy your meal. He watched the white tip of Smudge's tail disappear over the edge of the tree. In the distance, you could hear the rattle of dried food being shaken. A two-legged voice calling. Firepaw turned, his tail high, and started back toward his own home, sniffing the air as he went. I'll find a finch or two here, he decided, and I'll catch something else on the way back through the pines. He felt bursting with energy after meeting Smudge and realizing just how lucky he was to live in the clan. He looked up at the branches above him and began to stalk silently across the forest floor, every sense alert. Now he just needed to impress Bluestar and Tarkwa. The day would be perfect. Got to see Smudge after a couple chapters finally. Alright, chapter 11. Paw returned with a chafing grip firmly between his teeth. He dropped it in front of Tigerclaw, who stood waiting in the hollow. You are the first one back, yelled the warrior. Yeah, but I've got loads more prey to fetch, Firepaw meowed quickly. I buried it back. I know exactly what you did, Tigerclaw growled. I've been watching you. Despite a of blushes and mounds Greypaw's return, he was carrying a small squirrel in his mouth, which he dropped beside Firepaw's trapping. Excuse me. Yuck, he spat. Squirrels are too furry. I'll be picking hairs out of my teeth all evening. Firepaw's paid no attention to Greypaw's grumbling. Ravenpaw's late, he observed. We'll give him a bit longer and then return to camp. But what if he's been bitten by an adder? Firepaw protested. Then it's his own fault, Firepaw replied coldly. There's no room for fools in ThunderClan. They waited in silence. Greypaw and Firepaw exchanged glances. What about Ravenpaw? Firepaw sat motionless, apparently lost in his own thoughts. And thank you so much for collecting your daily paw, my dearie. Welcome, welcome. It's good to see you, my dear. I hope stream's going well for you. Thank you for collecting your daily paw. I appreciate you, my dearie. Annyeong. Firepaw was the first to scent Ravenpaw's arrival. He jumped to his paws as the black cat leaped into the clearing, looking unusually pleased with himself. Spilling from his mouth, the long diamond patterned body of an adder. Ravenpaw, are you okay? Firepaw called. Hey, now Greypaw, rushing forward to admire Ravenpaw's catch. Did that bite you? I was too quick for it. Ravenpaw purred loudly, and he caught Tigerclaw's eye. Fell silent. Tigerclaw fixed all three excited apprentices with a cold stare. Come on, he said shortly. Let's collect the rest of your prey and get back to camp. Firepaw, Greypaw, and Ravenpaw entered the camp, following behind Tigerclaw. Their impressive day's catch hung from their mouths, although Ravenpaw kept tripping over his dead snake. As they emerged from the gorse into the camp, a group of young kids scrambled out of the nursery to watch them pass. Look, Firepaw heard one of them say. Apprentices just back from hunting. He recognized his little tabby. Yellowfang had hissed at the day before. Sitting next to him was a fluffy gray kit, 1 or 2 moons old. A tiny black kit and a small tortoiseshell stood beside them. Not the kitty pet Firepaw, squeaked the gray cat. Yeah, look at his orange fur, now the black one. They say he's a good hunter, Tortoiseshell added. Looks a bit like Lionheart. I suppose he's as good as him? Can't wait to start my training, meowed the tabby. I'm going to be the best warrior ThunderClan has ever seen. Firepaw lifted his chin, feeling proud at the kids' admiring comments. He followed his 2 friends into the center of the clearing. An adder, Grandpa meowed again, as the apprentices dropped their catch for the other cats to share. What should I do with it? Asked Ravenpaw, sniffing the snake's long body as it lay beside the heap. Can you eat adders? Asked Greypaw. Just you to think your stomach. Firepaw joked, letting Greypaw with his head. I wouldn't want to eat it, remembered Ravenpaw. I mean, my mouth? He's pretty foul after carrying it back. But let's put it on a tree stump then, suggested Greypaw. Oh, my nose itches. Sorry about that. So that Dustpaw and Sandpaw can see when they get back. He carried a piece of their fresh kill and adder back to their den. Greypaw carefully placed the adder on the stump, arranging the snake so that it could be seen clearly from all sides. Then they ate. When they had finished, they sat close together to groom one another and talk. I wonder if Bluestar will choose to go to the gathering, Firepaw meowed. I'll be at full moon tomorrow. Sandpaw and Dustpaw have been twice already, said Greypaw. Perhaps Bluestar will choose one of us this time. Yeah, Firepaw. After all, I've been training for almost 3 moons now. But Sandpaw and Dustpaw are still the eldest apprentices, Ravenpaw pointed out. Firepaw nodded, and this gathering will be an important one. It'll be the first time the clans met since Wind Clan disappeared. No cat knows what ShadowClan is going to say about it. Fireclaw's low meow interrupted them. You were right, youngster. The warrior had strolled up to them unnoticed. That time Firepaw. Oh, by the way, Firepaw, he added smoothly. Bluestar wants to see you. Firepaw looked up, startled. Why would Bluestar want to see him? Now, if you can spare the time. Fireclaw meowed. Firepaw jumped up immediately and bounded off across the clearing toward Bluestar's den. Bluestar was sitting outside, her tail flicking restlessly back and forth. When she saw Firepaw stood up and looked steadily down at him. Fireclaw has told me that he saw you talking with a cat from the two-legged place today, he meowed quietly. But Firepaw began. He said that you began fighting with this cat, but ended up sharing tongues with it. That's true, Firepaw admitted, feeling his fur prickle defensively. But he was an old friend. We grew up together. He paused and swallowed. When I was a kitty pet. Bluestar looked at him for a long moment. You miss your old life, Firepaw? He asked. Think carefully now. No. How can Bluestar think that? Firepaw wondered. His head was spinning. What was Bluestar trying to make him say? Hi Kevios, welcome on in! Remember reading one of these in middle school? The library had the series. Yeah, no, this was super popular when I was in middle school. I never had a chance to read it when I was younger. It was only because one of my close friends recommended it to me that I should give it a read because she's super into the Warrior series, so I'm finally reading it now. Hope you're doing well, Kevios. Welcome on in. I'll take a sip of my water real quick. Okay. Okay. It's my first time hearing your calm and quiet voice. Yeah. I haven't done something like this in quite a while, truthfully. So, this is kind of like a new little thing I've been wanting to do for quite a while, truthfully. So, hopefully you're able to enjoy the bedtime story readings tonight and wind down and everything. See, You miss your old life, Firepaw? She asked. Think carefully now. No. How can Bluestar think that? Firepaw wondered. His head was spinning. What was Bluestar trying to make him say? Do you wish to leave the clan? Of course not. Firepaw was shocked by her question. Bluestar didn't seem to hear the passion in his answer. She shook her head, looking suddenly old and tired. I won't judge you if you leave us, Firepaw. Perhaps I expected too much of you. Perhaps my judgment has been clouded by the clan's need for new warriors. And it swept through Firepaw at the thought of leaving the clan forever. My place is here. It's my home. Protested. I need more than that, Firepaw. I need to be able to trust in your loyalty to ThunderClan. Especially now that it looks like ShadowClan is planning an attack. I don't have room for anyone who isn't sure whether their heart lies in the past or the present. Firepaw took a deep breath, and chose his next words carefully. When I saw Smudge today, that's the cow's cat Tyreclaw saw me talking with. I saw what life would have been like if I had stayed with the two legs. I felt happy that I had not stayed. I was proud I was proud I left. He held Bluestar's gaze without flinching. Meeting Smudge made me certain I made the right decision. I could never have been satisfied with the soft life of a kitty pet. Bluestar looked closely at him for a moment. Her eyes narrowed, and she nodded. Very well, she said. I believe you. I spoke to Yellowfang earlier, yelled Bluestar in a lighter tone. She thinks a lot of you. She's a wise old she-cat, you know. I expect she wasn't always bad-tempered. Indeed. I think I could grow to like her. Firepaw felt an unexpected glow of pleasure at these words. Maybe, in caring for Yellowfang, admiration for her had grown into affection. Despite the she-cat's ill temper, whatever the reason, he was glad Bluestar liked her too. But there is something about her that I don't trust. Bluestar went on quietly. You'll stay with the ThunderClan for now, but remain as a prisoner. The queens will care for her. You must concentrate on your training. Firepaw nodded and waited to be dismissed. Bluestar hadn't finished. Firepaw, although you showed bad judgment today in talking to a house cat, Firepaw was impressed by your hunting skills. In fact, you reported that you all did well. I am pleased with your progress. You will come to the gathering, all three of you. Firepaw could hardly stand still. His body tingled with excitement. The gathering. What about Sandpaw and Dustpaw? He mewed. They will remain behind and guard camp, replied Bluestar. Now you may go. Flickered her long tail to show he was dismissed and returned to her grooming. One second. I'm actually gonna check on Maisie real quick here, chat. Make sure she's actually okay and not freaking doing something stupid. 1 second, guys. I'm back. Sorry for the long wait there, chat. Continue on, shall we? Greypaw and Ravenpaw looked stunned to see Firepaw bounding happily towards them. They had been waiting nervously for him beside the tree stump. Firepaw sat down and looked at his friends. Well, Greypaw demanded. What did she say? Firepaw told us that you'd be sharing tongues with the Kittypaw this morning, burst out Ravenpaw. Are you in trouble? No. Although Bluestar wasn't pleased, Firepaw admitted. Ruefully. She thought I might want to lead ThunderClan. You don't, do you? Asked Ravenpaw. Of course he doesn't, yelled Greypaw. Firepaw gave his great friend an affectionate swipe. Yeah, you hate that. You need me to catch the mice for you. All you can catch these days are hairy old squirrels. Greypaw dodged out of the way of Firepaw's blow and rested up on his back legs to retaliate. You never guessed what else she said, Firepaw went on. He was too excited to waste time play fighting. Greypaw immediately dropped back onto all four of his paws. What? He asked. We're going to the gathering. Greypaw let out a yell of delight and bounded up onto the tree stump. One of his back paws knocked the other flying, hit Ravenpaw on the head and wrapped itself around his neck. Ravenpaw spat back with alarm and surprise, and then turned on Greypaw. Watch it, he hissed crossly. He shook the adder onto the ground. Scared it might try to bite you, Firepaw teased. Crouched down, hissing, and sidled up to Ravenpaw. Ravenpaw twitched his whiskers and retorted, "Some snake you make." He leaped onto Firepaw and rolled him easily onto his back. Firepaw reached down from the tree stump and gave Ravenpaw's tail a tug. As Ravenpaw turned to thump Greypaw with a soft forepaw, Firepaw jumped to his feet and leaped into both of them, sending Greypaw flying from the stump. Yes, thank you so much for collecting your daily paw, my dearie. Thank you. Hello. My little gremlin in the walls. Sending Greypaw flying from the stump. All three cats tumbled into the dirt and tussled on the ground. Finally, they fell apart and settled themselves, panting beside the tree stump. Are Sandpaw and Dustpaw coming too? Puffed Greypaw. Nope, Firepaw replied, unable to disguise a note of triumph in his voice. They have to stay behind and guard the camp. Otto, thank you so much for collecting your daily paw. Welcome on in, my dearie. Thank you so much. Oh, and thank you for the hydrate as well, Otto. I appreciate you. Thank you. And we got the stretch in there too. You got it. Oh, much better. Thank you kindly. I appreciate that. Okay. Welcome on in, Photo and Vess. Hope you guys are doing good tonight. Welcome. They have to stay behind and guard the camp. Oh, let me tell them, begged Greypaw. Can't wait to see the looks on their faces. Me neither, Firepaw agreed. I can't believe we are going instead of them. Especially after Tiger Claw saw me with Smudge today. That was just bad luck, answered Greypaw. We all caught a load of prey in assessment. That must be what decided it. I wonder what the gathering will be like, yelled Ravenpaw. It'll be fantastic. Greypaw replied confidently. I bet all the great warriors will be there. Clawface, Stonefur. Firepaw wasn't listening anymore. Instead, he found himself thinking about Tigerclaw and Smudge. Greatpaw was right. It was bad luck that the great warrior had been observing him when he met his old friend. Why couldn't he have been watching Greatpaw or Ravenpaw instead? In fact, it was bad luck that Tigerclaw had sent him so near the two-legged place after all. Suddenly a dark thought entered Firepaw's mind. Why had Tigerclaw sent him so near his old haunts? Had he wanted to test him? Could it be the great dark warrior didn't trust his loyalty to the ThunderClan? On to chapter 12. Okay, 12's a lot longer. Ravenpaw appeared over the brow of bush-covered slope. Greatpaw and Ravenpaw crouched beside him. Next to them, a group of ThunderClan elders, queens, and warriors waited in the undergrowth for Bluestar to give the signal. Firepaw had not been to this place since his first journey with Lionheart and Tigerclaw. The steep-sided glade looked different now. The rich greeneries of the woods had been bleached away by the cold light of the full moon. And the leaves on the trees glowed silver. At the bottom stood the large oaks that marked where the corner of each clan's territory touched the other three. Oh, Green, hi, welcome on in. Thank you for the care package. Appreciate that. 1 second. Much better. Thank you very much for the care package. I appreciate that. I hope you're having a wonderful night, Green. It's good to see you here. Hello. Alright, let's continue on, shall we? Just got to chapter 12. Let's see. Okay. Firepaw appeared over the brow of bush-covered slope. Greatpaw and Ravenpaw crouched beside him. Next to them, a group of ThunderClan elders, queens and warriors waited in the undergrowth for Bluestar to give the signal. Firepaw had not been to this place since his first journey with Lionheart and Tigerclaw. The steep-sided glade looked different now. The rich greenness of the woods had been bleached away by the cold light of the full moon. And leaves on the trees glowed silver. At the bottom stood the large oaks that marked where the corner of each clan's territory touched the other three. The air was thick with the warm scent of cats from the other clans. Firepaw could see them quite clearly in the moonlight. Moving below, in the grassy clearing that lay between the 4 oaks in the center of the clearing, a large, jagged rock rose on the forest floor like a broken tooth. Look at all those cats down there, hissed Ravenpaw under his breath. There's Cricketstar, and his back, RiverClan's leader. Where? Firepaw mewed, nudging Greatpaw impatiently. Light-colored tabby, besides the great rock. Firepaw followed Greatpaw's nod and saw a huge tom, even bigger than Lionheart, standing at the center of the clearing. His striped coat shone pale in the moonlight. Even from this distance, his old face showed the signs of a harsh life. His mouth looked twisted, as if it had once been broken and had healed badly. Hey, yeah, Greatpaw. Did you see Sandpaw's spit when I told her I had hoped she had a nice evening at home? You bet, Ravenpaw purred. Ravenpaw interrupted them with a muffled growl. Look, there's Bluestar, ShadowClan's leader. He hissed. Firepaw looked down at the dark brown tabby. His fur was unusually long and his face was broad and flattened. There was a stillness in the way he sat and stared around him that made Firepaw prickle uncomfortably. He looks pretty nasty, Firepaw muttered. Yeah, agreed Greatpaw. He's certainly got a reputation among all the clans for not suffering fools gladly. He's not been leader that long. 4 moons, ever since his father, Bluestar, died. What does the leader of the ThunderClan look like? Firepaw asked. Bluestar? I've never seen him. I know he's black and white with a very long tail, answered Greatpaw. Can you see him now? Asked Ravenpaw. Firepaw peered down, searching the crowd of cats below. Nope. Do you see any ThunderClan cats? Firepaw asked. Firepaw shook his head. No. They aren't to be sounded solid beside them. The ThunderClan cats may just be late. One second, chat. Okay, I put that. I had a message from someone. Continue on. ThunderClan cats must be late. What if they don't turn up at all? Yelled Greatpaw. Hush. We must all be patient. These are difficult times. Now keep quiet, because I will give the signal to move soon. Lionheart meowed quietly. As he spoke, Bluestar stood. And, holding her tail high, moved from one side to the other. Firepaw's heart missed a beat as the ThunderClan cats rose as one, bounded through the bushes. Down toward the meeting place, he raced alongside them, feeling the wind rush in his ears and paws tingle with anticipation. ThunderClan cats paused instinctively on the edge of the clearing, outside the boundary of the oaks. Bluestar sniffed the air, and she nodded and moved forward into the clearing. Firepaw felt thrilled. The other cats looked even more impressive close up. Milling about the great rock, large white warriors strode past. Firepaw and Ravenpaw looked at him in awe. Look at his paws, Ravenpaw murmured. Firepaw looked down and realized the huge paws of this great Tom were just jet black. It must be Blackfoot, not Greatpaw. ShadowClan's new deputy. Blackfoot stalked over to Bluestar and sat beside him. ShadowClan leader acknowledged him with a twitch of one ear, but said nothing. The ShadowClan leader acknowledged him with a twitch of one ear, but said nothing. When does the meeting begin? Ravenpaw asked Whitestorm. Be patient, Ravenpaw, he answered. The sky is clearing tonight, so we have plenty of time. Lionheart leaned over and added, we warriors like to spend a lot of time boasting about our victories. while the elders swapped tales about the ancient times before the two legs came here. All three apprentices looked up at him and saw his whiskers twitch mischievously. Appletail, One Eye, and Small Ear head straight off toward a group of elderly cats who were settling themselves below one of the tree oaks. Lightstorm and Lionheart strolled over to another pair of warriors whom Firepaw did not know. Sniffed the air and recognized her son as RiverClan. Bluestar's voice sounded behind the three apprentices. Don't waste any of your time tonight, she warned. This is a good opportunity to meet your enemies. Listen to them. Remember what they look like and how they behave. There's a great deal to be learned from these meetings. And say little, warned Tatterclaw. Don't give anything away that might be used against us once the moon has waned. Don't worry, we won't, Firepaw promised hastily, looking into Tatterclaw's eyes. The feeling that Tatterclaw didn't trust his loyalty lingered with him still. The warriors nodded and moved on, and the apprentices were left alone. They looked at each other. What do we do now? Firepaw asked. They say. They said, replied Ravenpaw. Listen. And don't say too much. Don't say too much, Greypaw added. Firepaw nodded gravely. I'm going to see where Tatterclaw went, he mewed. Well, I'm going to find Lionheart, yelled Greypaw. You coming, Ravenpaw? No thanks, Ravenpaw replied. I want to find some of the other apprentices. Okay, we'll meet up later, yelled Firepaw. He trotted in the direction Tatterclaw had taken. He scented Tatterclaw easily and found him sitting at the center of a group of huge warriors behind a great rock. Tatterclaw was speaking. It was a tale Firepaw had heard many times at camp. Firepaw was describing his recent battle against RiverClan hunting party. I wrestled like a lion cat. 3 warriors tried to hold me, but I threw them off. Fought them off until two lay knocked out, and the other had run off into the forest like a kitty crying for its mother. This time, TigerClan didn't mention killing Okar in vengeance for Redtail's death. Perhaps it's so he doesn't offend the RiverClan warriors, Firepaw decided. Firepaw listened politely to the end of the story, but a familiar sound was distracting him. When Tatterclaw had finished speaking, Firepaw turned and crept toward the sweet smell, which was coming from a group of cats nearby. A Greypaw sitting among these cats. That was not the scent he had been following. Sitting opposite a Greypaw between 2 RiverClan toms, Spotted Leaf. Spotted Leaf. Firepaw glanced at her shyly and settled himself beside his friend. Still no scent of WindClan, he meowed to Greypaw. The meeting hasn't begun yet. They may still come, replied his friend. Look, there's Running Nose. He's a new ShadowClan medicine cat, apparently. He nodded toward a small gray and white cat at the center of the group. Let's see why they call him Running Nose, Firepaw remarked. The medicine cat's nose was wet at the tip and encrusted around the edges. Yep, replied Greypaw with a scornful growl. Can't see why they appointed him when he can't even cure his own cold. Running was telling the cats about the herb that medicine cats had used in the old days to cure kitten cough. Until it came and filled the place with hard earth and strange flowers, he complained in a high-pitched yawl. The herb had disappeared and kittens died needlessly in cold weather. Cats gathered around him and yelled their disapproval. Never would have happened in the time of the great clan cats. Growled the Black River Clan Queen. Indeed, meowed the Silver Tabby. The great cats would have killed 2 legs that dared enter their territory. If TigerClan roamed this forest still, Two Legs would not have built this far into our land. And Firepaw might have heard Spotty's quiet meow. If TigerClaw still roamed these forests, we would hardly have made our territory here either. Gamer, welcome on in, my dearie. Thank you so much for clicking your daily paw. Welcome on in. I hope you're doing well tonight. Welcome in, my dearie. Hello, annyeong. What's TigerClan? Yeah, the small voice beside them. Firepaw noticed a little tabby apprentice from one of the other clans sitting beside him. TigerClan is one of the great clan cats that used to roam the forest. Firepaw explained quietly. The claw is cats of the night, big as a horse, big as horses with jet black stripes. Then there is Lion Clan. Firepaw hesitated, frowning as he tried to remember. Oh, I've heard of them, yelled the tabby. They were as big as the TigerClan cats. Yellow fur and golden manes like rays of the sun. I'm doing good, game with some streamers, let's go! We love the gaming time, yes! I hope your gaming session went really fun, yatta! Did you take a lot of W's, take a lot of wins? Firepaw nodded, and then there is the other one. Spotty Clan, or something like that. I expect you're thinking of Leopard Clan, young Grey Paw, and the voice from behind them. Lionheart. Grey Paw greeted his mentor with an affectionate touch of his nose. Lionheart shook his head in mock despair. Don't you youngsters know your history? Leopard Clan are the swiftest cats, huge and golden, spotted with black paw prints. You can thank Leopard Clan for the speed and hunting skills you now possess. Thank them? Why? Asked the tabby. Lionheart gazed down at the little prince and answered. There's a trace of all the great cats in every cat today. We would not be night hunters without our TigerClan ancestors. And our love of the sun's warmth comes from the Lion Clan. He paused. You are a ShadowClan apprentice, aren't you? How many moons are you? Abby stared awkwardly down to the ground. 6 moons, he stammered, not meeting Lionheart's eye. Rather small for 6 moons, Lionheart murmured. His tone was gentle, but his gaze was searching and serious. My mother was small too, answered the tabby nervously. He bowed his head and backed away, disappearing into the crowd of cats with a twitch of his light brown tail. Lionheart turned to Firepaw and Grey Paw. Well, he might be small, but at least he was curious. If only you two showed as much interest in the stories your elders tell. Sorry, Lionheart. Firepaw and Grey Paw meowed, exchanging doubtful glances. Lionheart grunted good-naturedly. Oh, go away, the pair of you. Next time, I hope Bluestar decides to bring apprentices who appreciate what they hear. And with a half-hearted growl, he chased them away from the group. Come on, heard Grandpa as they leaped away. Let's see where Ravenpaw gotten to. Let's see where Ravenpaw's gotten to. Ravenpaw was in the middle of a group of apprentices who were clamoring for him about the battle with the River Clan. Go on, Ravenpaw, tell us what happened, called a pretty black and white she-cat. Ravenpaw shyly shuffled his paws and shook his head. Come on, Ravenpaw, insisted another. Ravenpaw looked around and saw Firepaw and Greypaw at the edge of the crowd. Firepaw nodded encouragingly. Ravenpaw flicked his tail in acknowledgement and began his story. He stumbled a bit at first, but as he continued, the tremor disappeared from his voice and his audience leaned in. Their eyes growing wider. Hair was flying everywhere. Blood spattered the leaves of the bramble bushes, bright red against green. I just fought off a huge warrior and sent him squealing into the bushes, where the ground shook, and I heard the warrior scream. It was Oakhart. Redtail raced past me, mouth dripping blood and his fur torn. Oakhart is dead, he howled. Then he rushed off to help Tireclaw. As he fought another warrior. I would have thought Ravenpaw was such a good storyteller. Firepaw murmured to Firepaw, sounding impressed. But Firepaw was thinking of something else. What was it Ravenpaw had said? That Redtail had killed Oakhart? According to Tireclaw, Oakhart had killed Redtail, and he, Tireclaw, had killed Oakhart in revenge. If Redtail killed Oakhart, who killed Redtail? Firepaw hissed to Greypaw. If who did what? Greypaw echoed absentmindedly. He was only half listening to Firepaw. Firepaw shook his head to clear it. Ravenpaw must have been mistaken, he thought. He must have meant Tireclaw. Ravenpaw was coming to an end of his story. Finally, Redtail dragged the wailing cat off Tireclaw by his tail, and with the strength of the whole tiger clan flung him into the bushes. Sorry, my nose is like super itchy all of a sudden right now for some reason. I don't know why I get super itchy around this time. My shadow caught Firepaw's eye. He glanced around and saw Tireclaw standing a short distance away. The warrior was watching Ravenpaw with an iron stare, unaware of his mentor's presence. Ravenpaw continued to answer question. Ravenpaw continued to answer question after question from his enthusiastic audience. What were Oakhart's dying words? Is it true that Oakhart had never lost a battle before? Ravenpaw replied promptly, with his voice high and clear and his eyes shining. As Firepaw glanced back at Tireclaw, he saw a look of horror and then fury creep over the warrior's face. Clearly, Tireclaw wasn't enjoying Ravenpaw's story at all. Firepaw was just about to say something to Greypaw when a loud yell signaled all the cats were quiet. Firepaw couldn't help feeling relieved as Ravenpaw fell silent at last, and Tireclaw turned away. Firepaw looked up to see where the yell had come from. Three cats sat silhouetted against the moonlit sky on top of the great rock. They were Bluestar, Brokenstar, and Kittypaw. The clan leaders were about to begin the meeting, but where was the one clan leader? Surely they won't start the meeting without Tallstar. Firepaw hissed under his breath. I don't know, Firepaw muttered back. Haven't you noticed? There isn't a single Wind Clan cat here, whispered a River Clan apprentice on the other side of Firepaw. Alright, I will be right back, chat. I'm gonna run the ads real quick here. I'm gonna see about what I can do with my nose. Okay, yeah, I will be right back. Slight emergency. 1 second, chat. So sorry. emergency over. Sorry about that, chat. I'm back. Hi, Kaki. Welcome, welcome on in. How are you doing tonight? Welcome, welcome. Oh, hello. I know. Hope you're doing well tonight. It's good to see you. Hello, hello, my dearie. Alright. Emergency over now. Let's go ahead and continue on, shall we? I love when my model breaks when I try to push myself in my chair. It's always super funny. Alright, let's see here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Firepaw has similar conversations were going all around him. The other clans were gathering beneath the great rock. An unsettled murmuring rambled in their throats. We can't start yet. The old one voice above the noise. Where are the Wind Clan representatives? Must wait until all the clans are present. On top of the rock, Bluestar stepped forward. Her gray fur English, Nini, English. Her gray fur glowed almost white in the moonlight. Cats of all clans welcome. She meowed in a clear voice. It is true that Wind Clan is not present, but Broken-Star wishes to speak anyway. Broken-Star padded noiselessly up to the stand beside Bluestar. He surveyed the crowd for a few moments, his orange eyes burning, and he took a deep breath and began. Friends, I come to speak to you tonight about the needs of ShadowClan. But he was interrupted by raised, impatient voices from below. Where is Tall Star? Cried one. Where are the Wind Clan warriors? Yelled another. Broken-Star stretched up to his full height and lashed his tail from side to side. The other leader of ShadowClan. Leader of ShadowClan, it is my right to address you here. He growled in a voice full of menace. The crowd fell into an uneasy silence. All around him, Firepaw could smell the acrid tang of fear. Broken-Star yelled again. We all know that the hard time of Leaf Bear and late New Leaf have left us with little prey in our hunting grounds. But we also know that Wind Clan, Warrior Clan, and ThunderClan lost many kids in freezing weather that came so late this season. ShadowClan did not lose kids. We are hardened to the cold north wind. Our kids are stronger than yours from the moment they are born. And so we find ourselves with many mouths to feed. Too little prey to feed them. The crowd, still silent, listened anxiously. The needs of ShadowClan are simple. In order to survive, we must increase our hunting territory. That is why I insist that you allow ShadowClan warriors to hunt in your territories. A shock that made a growl rippled through the crowd. Share our hunting grounds? Called the outraged voice of Firepaw. It is unprecedented, cried a tortoiseshell queen from the River Clan. The clans have never shared hunting rights. Should ShadowClan be punished because of our kids thrive? Yelled Broken-Star from the Great Rock. You want us to watch our young starve. You must share what you have with us. Must, spat Small Ear furiously. On the back of the crowd, must, repeated Broken-Star. Wind Clan failed to understand this. In the end, we were forced to drive them out of their territory. Snarls of outrage burst from the crowd, but Broken-Star's wail rang loud above them. And if we have to, we'll drive you all from your hunting grounds in order to feed our hungry kids. There was an instant silence on the other side of the clearing. Firepaw heard a RiverClan apprentice start to mutter something. It was quickly hushed by the elder. Satisfied that he had every cat's attention, Broken continued. Each year, the two-legs spoil more of our territory. At least one clan must remain strong if all the clans are to survive. ShadowClan thrives while you all struggle. And there may come a time when you will need us. You need to protect you. And there may come a time when you will need us to protect you. You doubt our strength? His tired claw. His pale eyes glared threateningly at the ShadowClan leader. His powerful shoulders rippled with tension. Oh, and we're gonna right now, so I'll go ahead and just pause there real quick. Alright, give me 1 second, chat. Okay, there we go. This will be over in just about a minute more or so, folks, and we can continue the reading afterwards. But I hope everyone's having a wonderful night tonight already here. Hope you all are also enjoying the bedtime stories as well. What's happening over here anyway? Yeah, honestly, the next couple chapters are gonna be relatively pretty short, so this might be actually a little bit of a shorter stream tonight, which I'm kind of surprised about, truthfully. But we'll be doing about 2 days of bedtime stories, truthfully. So tomorrow we'll also be doing some more bedtime stories as well. We'll have longer. Oh, I think actually by next stream we should be done with the first book actually. Oh, welcome back everybody from the ads. Hope everyone had a wonderful ad time. Let's go and continue on, shall we? Where are you? There you are. Alright, 1 second there. Okay, now we're good. Sorry about that, chat. Let's continue on. We doubt our strength? Starclaw. His pale eyes glared threateningly at the ShadowClan leader, and his powerful shoulders rippled with tension. "Do not ask for your answer now." Broken ignored the warrior's challenge. "You must go away and consider my words, but bear this in mind. Would you prefer to share your prey, or be driven out and left homeless and starving?" Warriors, elders, and apprentices looked at one another in disbelief. In the anxious pause that followed, Bluestar stepped forward. "I have already agreed to allow ShadowClan some hunting rights in the river that runs through our territories. Sorry, I can't read. He meowed quietly, gazing down at his clan. Horror and humiliation rippled through the river clan cats at the leader's words. "We were not consulted," cried a grizzling silver tabby. "I feel that this is the best for our clan, for all the clans." Bluestar explained, his voice heavy with resignation. "There are plenty of fish in the river. It's better to share our prey than spill blood for fighting over it." And what of the ThunderClan? Small-ear croaked. "Bluestar, have you two agreed to this outrageous demand?" Bluestar agreed to this. Bluestar unwaveringly met the old cat's gaze. "I have made no agreement with Brokenstar except that I shall discuss his proposal with my clan after the gathering." "Well, at least that's something," muttered Great Paw in Firepaw's ear. "I'll show them that we're not as soft as that yellow-bellied river clan." Brokenstar spoke up again, his rasping voice sounding arrogant and strong after Crookedstar's surrender. "I also bring news that is important to the safety of your kids. The ShadowClan has turned rogue and spurned the warrior code. We chased her out of her camp. We do not know where she is now. She looks like a mangy old creature. She has a bite like a tiger clan." Firepaw's fur bristled. Brokenstar possibly talking about Yellowfang. He pricked up his ears, curiously to hear more. "She is dangerous. I warn you, do not offer shelter to her. And," Brokenstar paused dramatically, "until she is caught and killed, I urge you to keep a close eye on your kids." Firepaw knew from the nervous growl that rumbled in his throats. It rumbled in the throats of the ThunderClan cats that they, too, had thought of Yellowfang. The bold Chica had done nothing to endear herself to her reluctant hosts, and Firepaw guessed it wouldn't take much to drum up hatred against her. Even the words of despised enemy like Brokenstar would be enough. The ShadowClan warriors began to push their way out of the throng of cats. Brokenstar leaped down from the rock, and his warriors immediately surrounded him and escorted him away from the four trees, back into the ShadowClan territory. The remaining ShadowClan cats followed quickly behind, including the undersized tabby Lionheart had questioned earlier. Among the other ShadowClan apprentices, the tabby no longer looked unusually small. They all looked tiny and undernourished, more like kids with 3 or 4 moons than full-fledged apprentices. "What do you think of all that?" Firepaw meowed in a low voice. Ravenpaw bounded over before Firepaw could reply. "What's going to happen now?" he wailed. His fur fluffed up in alarm and his eyes wider than ever. Firepaw didn't answer. Others of the clan were gathering nearby, and he was straining to hear what they were saying. "That must be Yellowfang he was talking about," growled Small Ear. "Well, she did snap at Goldenflower's youngest kid the other day," murmured Speckletail darkly. She was the oldest nursery queen and fiercely protective of all the kids. "And we've left her behind, the camp virtually unguarded," wailed One Eye, who once seemed to be having no trouble hearing everything. I tried to tell you she was a danger to us. The Star Stripe. Bluestar has to listen to reason now and get rid of her. Get rid of her before she harms any of our young. Firepaw strode up to the group. We must return to camp at once and deal with this rogue, he yelled. Firepaw didn't stop to hear more. His mind was spinning, loyal as he was to the clan. I just believe that Yellowfang would be a danger to the kids. Crying for the old she-cat, running with questions only she could answer. He raced away from Kittypaw and Ravenpaw without a word. He charged up the hillside and pelted through the forest. Had he been mistaken about Yellowfang? If he warned her about the danger she was in, he'd be risking his own position in ThunderClan. Whatever trouble he got himself into, he had to find out the truth from her before the other cats. Back to the camp. Ooh, time to pick up now. Alright. Alright, chapter 13. Let me see how short this one is. Okay, yeah. Okay, wow, I thought it was really short. Okay. Firepaw reached the edge of the ravine and looked down at the camp. He was panting and his paws were slippery with dew. He sniffed the air. He was alone. It was still time to speak to Yellowfang before the others returned from the gathering. Silently, he jumped down the rocky slope and slipped through the gorse tunnel unnoticed. The camp was still and quiet, far from the muted snuffles of sleeping cats. Firepaw quickly crept around the edge of the clearing to Yellowfang's nest. The old medicine cat was curled on top of her mossy bedding. Yellowfang, he hissed urgently. Yellowfang, wake up. It's important. The orange eyes opened and glinted in the moonlight. I wasn't sleeping, meowed Yellowfang quietly. She sounded calm and alert. Came straight from the gathering to me. It must mean you've heard. Blinked slowly and looked away. Oh, Broken-Star kept his promise. What promise? Firepaw felt confused. Yellowfang seemed to know more than he did about what was going on. ShadowClan's noble leader promised to drive me from every clan territory. Yellowfang replied dryly. What did he say about me? He warned us that our kids were in danger as long as we sheltered the ShadowClan rogue. He didn't say your name. The ThunderClan guessed what he was talking about. You must leave before the others get back. You are in danger. You mean they believe Broken-Star? Yellowfang flattened her ears and swished her tail angrily. Hi Andy, welcome. How you doing, lovely? It's good to see you. Annyeong. Hope you're doing well tonight. Welcome on in. Yes, Firepaw meowed urgently. Dark Stripe says you're dangerous. The other cats are scared of what you might do. Fireclaw is planning to come back and I don't know. I think you should go before they get here. In the distance, Firepaw could hear the yells of angry cats. Yellowfang struggled stiffly to her paws. Firepaw gave her a nudge to help her up, his mind still spinning with questions. What did Broken-Star mean when he warned us to keep a close eye on our kids? He couldn't stop himself from asking. Would you really do something like that? Would I what? Would you harm our kids? Yellowfang flared her nostrils and looked steadily at him. Do you think so? Firepaw met her gaze without flinching. No, I don't believe you would ever harm a kid. But why would Broken-Star say such a thing? The noise of cats was coming nearer, and with it, the sense of aggression and anger. Yellowfang looked wildly from side to side. Doing good. How's my favorite Neko doing? I'm doing really good tonight. I've had a little bit of a stressful week, truthfully, but we are here. We are enjoying the nice wind down to the weekend. Enjoying the weekend here with some bedtime stories. But I am doing good, honestly. It's good to see you, Andy. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm doing good now, honestly. The stress is kind of passed over at this point now. It's just kind of like the waiting game, but I'm doing a lot better now. I'm just happy I'm here and be able to read everybody here tonight. Oh, Firepaw urged her safety was more important than his curiosity. The Yellowfang remained where she was and stared at him. A calm look suddenly came into her wide eyes. Firepaw, you believe I'm innocent, and I'm grateful for that. If you believe me, then others might. And I know Bluestar will give me a fair hearing. I can't run forever. I'm too old. I shall stay here and face whatever your clan decides for me. She sighed and sank down into her bony haunches. What about Tycall? What if he is headstrong and knows the power he has over the other clan cats? They are in awe of him, but even he will obey Bluestar. Rustling in the undergrowth beyond the camp boundary told Firepaw that the cats were almost at the entrance. Go away, Firepaw, hissed Yellowfang, baring her blackened teeth at him. Don't make trouble for yourself by being seen with me now. There's nothing you can do for me. Have faith in your leader. And let her decide what happens to me. Firepaw realized Yellowfang had made up her mind. He touched his nose to her patchy fur and crept silently away into the shadows to watch. Through the gorse came the cats. Bluestar first, accompanied by Lionheart. Phosphor and Willowpelt were right behind them. Phosphor raced away from the troop immediately and ran towards the nursery, fur on her tail bristling in alarm. Darkclaw and Darkstripe strode into the clearing, shoulder to shoulder, looking grim. The others followed behind, with Ravenpaw and Greypaw at the rear. As soon as he saw his friends, Firepaw trotted out to join them. You went to warn Yellowtail, didn't you? Said Greypaw when Firepaw reached his side. Yes, I did, Firepaw admitted. I won't leave. I chose Bluestar to treat her fairly. Did anyone miss me? Only us, replied Ravenpaw. Around the camp, the cats who had stayed behind began to wake up. They must have scented the aggression and heard the tension in the voices of the returning cats. They all came running into the clearing, their tails. Sorry for the instant barking. My mom just got home from work and the dog's now barking. Give me just a minute or two, folks. Okay, we should be good for a few more minutes before she starts barking again. I do apologize if you guys heard any barking. Barking should be done in just a moment here, folks. I'm so sorry. Okay, we're good now. Continue on, shall we? And Maisie's at the door. Anywho, let's continue on, shall we? Sorry about that, folks. Only us. Replied Ravenpaw. Wait, Oh, here it is. Sorry. This happened. Called the Tabby warrior named Running Wind. Broken-Star has demanded hunting rights for ShadowClan in our territory. Replied Longtail loudly enough for all the cats to hear. And he warned us about a rogue cat who will harm our kids. And Willowpelt. It must be Yellowfang. Yells of anger and distress rose from the crowd. Silence, ordered Bluestar, leaping onto the high rock. Instinctively, the cat settled in front of her. A loud screech made every cat turn its head toward the fallen tree where the elders slept. Firepaw and Darkstripe were dragging Yellowfang roughly from her nest. She shrieked furiously as they hauled her into the clearing and dumped her in front of the high rock. Firepaw felt every muscle in his body tense. Without thinking, he dropped into a low crouch, ready to spring at Yellowfang's persecutors. Muchly faded, welcome on in. How you doing tonight? Sounds so nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, my dear. How you doing tonight? You're having a wonderful night, my dearie. Wait, Firepaw, growled Greypaw in his ear. Let Bluestar deal with this. What's going on? Demanded Bluestar, jumping down from the high rock and glaring at her warriors. Gave no order to attack her prisoner. Fireclaw and Darkstripe instantly let go of Yellowfang, who crouched in the dust, singing and spatting. Phosphor appeared from the nursery and pushed her way through the front of the clan. She got back in time. She meowed with a gasp. The kids are safe. Of course they are, snapped Bluestar. Phosphor seemed taken aback, but you are going to throw Yellowfang out, aren't you? She meowed, blue eyes wide. I'm okay, just sleepy, trying to get more than 1 to 2 hours of sleep for once. Thanks, honey. You're welcome. I'm hoping hopefully some little bit of reading here will be able to help you sleep here, my dearie. But oh, I feel that one, my bones, truthfully. Yeah, I hope you're able to get some good sleep tonight, my dearie. Hopefully a little, some of my reading here will help you sleep tonight here. Throw her out, at Darkstripe, unleashing his claws. We should kill her now. I appreciate that. Thank you. Annyeong. Throw her out, spat Darkstripe, unleashing his claws. We should kill her now. Bluestar fixed her piercing blue eyes on Darkstripe's angry face. What has she done? She asked with an icy calm. Firepaw held his breath. They were at the gathering. Broken-Star said she. Darkstripe began. Broken-Star said only that there is a rogue somewhere in the woods. Meowed Bluestar, her voice menacingly quiet. He did not mention Yellowfang by name. The kids are safe. For as long as she is in my clan, Yellowfang will not be harmed in any way. Bluestar's words were met with silence, and Firepaw heaved a sigh of relief. looked up at Bluestar and narrowed her eyes respectfully. I will leave now if you wish it, Bluestar. There is no need, Bluestar replied. You have done nothing wrong. You will be safe here. The ThunderClan leader lifted her gaze to the crowd of cats that surrounded Yellowfang and meowed. This time we discussed the real threat of our clan, Broken Star. We have already begun to prepare for an attack by ShadowClan. Bluestar began. We'll carry on with those preparations. And patrol our borders more frequently. When Clan is gone, EverClan is getting hunting rights. ShadowClan warriors. ThunderClan stands alone against Broken Star. Your voice is so sweet. This is actually something I'm not really used to doing at all, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much for saying that. This is something I'm not really used to doing at all, so it's kind of a new thing I've been kind of doing for my community here. Everyone's been enjoying it truthfully, so I'm really happy about that. Thank you. I appreciate the compliments. Thank you. And you. Definitely a different take on than my usual loud self, so. Where did I leave off at? Whistles. Oh, here it is. When Clan is gone, EverClan has given hunting rights to ShadowClan warriors. The ThunderClan stands alone against Broken Star. A murmur of defiance rippled through the cats. Firepaw felt his fur prickle with anticipation. Then, we're not going to agree to Broken Star's demands? Now, Tigerclaw. Clans have never shared hunting rights before, Bluestar answered. They have always managed to support themselves in their own territories. There is no reason why this should change. Tigerclaw nodded approvingly. Can we defend ourselves against a ShadowClan attack? Asked Small Ear's tremulous voice. When Clan didn't manage it, EverClan won't try. Star met his old eyes with her steady gaze. We must try. We'll not give up our territory without a fight. All around the clearing, Firepaw saw the cats nodding in agreement. She'll travel to Moonstone tomorrow, Bluestar announced. The warriors of StarClan will give me the strength I need to lead ThunderClan through the dark time. We must all get some rest. We have a lot to do when daylight comes. I wish to talk with Lionheart now. Without another word, she turned and strode toward her den. Firepaw noticed the look of wonder that had entered the eyes of some of the cats when Bluestar had mentioned the Moonstone. Now the clan cats hurriedly gathered in groups, meowing in hushed voices full of excitement. Hi Aqua, welcome in my dearie, welcome. It's good to see you, my dear. I hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. Hello. Meow. What's the Moonstone, Firepaw? I read a little too far ahead. No I didn't. Never mind. What's the Moonstone? Firepaw asked Greypaw. A rock deep on the ground that shines in the dark, whispered Greypaw. His voice was hoarse with awe. All clan leaders have to spend one night at the Moonstone when they are first chosen. There, the spirits of the Star Clan shared with them. Share what with them? Greypaw frowned. No, he admitted. I only know that the new leaders have to sleep near the stone. And as they sleep, they have special dreams. For that, they have the gift of 9 lives and take the name Star. Firepaw watched Yellowfang limp back to her shadowy nest. It looked like Tigerclaw's rough treatment had aggravated her old injury. She trotted back to the apprentices' den. Firepaw decided to ask Spotted Leaf for more poppy seeds in the morning. But what happened? mewed Dustpaw eagerly, popping his head out of the den. He seemed to have forgotten how much he resented the new princess and his eagerness to hear about the gathering. Like Longtail said, Broken Star demanded hunting rights. Greypaw began. Sandpaw and Dustpaw sat and listened. The Firepaw was watching the camp. You could see the silhouettes of Bluestar and Lionheart sitting close together outside her den, talking urgently. Then he noticed a small shape of Ravenpaw at the entrance to the warrior's den. Terraclaw stood beside him. Firepaw saw Ravenpaw's ears flatten as the young cat flinched away from Terraclaw's fierce words. The dark warrior loomed over him, twice his size, his eyes and teeth flashing in the moonlight. What was he saying to Ravenpaw? Firepaw was just about to creep nearer and listen when Ravenpaw backed away, turned, and ran across the clearing. Firepaw greeted Ravenpaw as he reached the apprentice's den, but Ravenpaw hardly seemed to notice him. Twice his size, come on, Ravenpaw. Ravenpaw's a little tiny. We love Ravenpaw. But Ravenpaw hardly seemed to notice him. Instead, he pushed his way inside the den without a word. Firepaw got up to follow him when he saw Lionheart approaching. Well, meowed the ThunderClan deputy, riding up to the apprentices. Means that Firepaw, Greypaw, and Ravenpaw are about to reach another important stage in their training. What's that? Meowed Greypaw, looking excited. Bluestar wishes you three to accompany her on her journey to the Moonstone. Lionheart didn't miss the look of disappointment on the faces of Dustpaw and Sandpaw, because he added, "Don't worry, you two. You'll make the journey soon enough. For now, ThunderClan needs your strength and skill at the camp. I will remain here also." Firepaw looked past Lionheart. Wise words from the others. Logically Fated, are you familiar with the Warriors book series by any chance? Just curious. Firepaw looked past Lionheart to his leader, who was moving. He was moving from one group of warriors to another, meowing instructions to each. I had actually chosen him for this journey, he wondered. Oh, not at all. Oh, this is a really I can honestly say this is a really good book series, honestly. If you're looking for a good mystery with some good action to it, I would probably say, for sure. I'm hearing it out and I'm enthralled while delirious. Understandable. But yeah, no, this is a really good book series, honestly. It was popular when I was younger, and I managed to get the first three books here. I managed to get the first three books from a close friend of mine who recommended it to me, because she's also a huge Warriors fan. And speaking of Warriors, my cat meowed at the door. But it's a really good book series, honestly. I've always enjoyed it. Or at least I've been enjoying it for a while. I only got to halfway through book 2 before I unfortunately put it down and stopped reading for a little bit. So I'm currently rereading it again, which is nice. Firepaw looked past Lionheart to his leader. He was moving from one group of warriors to another, meowing instructions to each. Why had she chosen him for this journey, he wondered. We want you to rest now, Lionheart continued. But first go to Spotted Leaf and collect the herbs you will need on this expedition. A long way. You will need some to give strength and quell your appetite. There will be little time for catching prey. It's got some really good descriptions of what's going on around the cats' territory. It's always been super nice. I highly recommend it to anyone who really wants to get into the Warrior series, truthfully. Here's Ravenpaw. Oh wait, I skipped ahead a little bit, my apologies. Greypaw nodded, and Firepaw dragged his gaze away from Bluestar and nodded too. Where's Ravenpaw? Asked Lionheart. And he's in his nest already, cried Firepaw. Good. Leave him to sleep. You can fetch her for him, meowed Lionheart. West well. Leave at dawn. He flicked his tail and walked back to Bluestar's den. Well then, meowed Sandpaw. Book versus this, not even close. I appreciate that, my dearie. Thank you. Well then, meowed Sandpaw. You better go and see Spotted Leaf. Firepaw listened for the sourness in her voice. There was none. There was no time for jealousy now. All the cats in the clan seemed to be united against the threat of ShadowClan. Firepaw and Greypaw walked quickly towards Spotted Leaf's den. The fern tunnel was dark. Not even the full moon penetrated its thick covering. Spotted Leaf seemed to be expecting them as they emerged into her moonlit clearing. You have come for some traveling herbs, she meowed. Yes, please, Firepaw answered. And I think Yellowfang needs more poppy seeds. You seem to be feeling her wounds. I will take her some after you have gone, when your traveling herbs are ready. Spotted Leaf indicated a pile of carefully made leaf wraps, enough for the three of you. The dark green herb will stop your hunger pangs during the journey. The other will give you strength. Eat them both just before you leave. They're not as good as fresh prey, but the taste won't last long. Thanks, Spotted Leaf, meowed Firepaw. He leaned down and picked up one of the parcels. As he bent his head, Spotted Leaf stretched over and gently rubbed his cheek with her nose. Firepaw breathed in her sweet, warm scent and purred his thanks. Paw picked up the other two, and when the friends turned, headed back through the tunnel. I hear my cat at the door right now. She is trying to get in, and I'm just like, no, Maisie. 1 second, guys. Let me go deal with my cat real quick. Actually, I gotta go see what she's going on about. 1 second. Alright, I'm back. She's just pounding at the door for no reason at all. I tried to pick her up to bring her in my room, but she just kind of ran off. Yeah, I have 2 cats. But yeah, I have 2 cats. 1 second, actually. Now I just hear them fighting outside my door. 1 second. Okay, there we go. That's just one what they can't have. Yeah, that exactly. Maisie, I have 2 cats, but yeah, no, the one at my door right now is Maisie. She likes to sit in front of my door and stare at me when I'm streaming, but since I'm right by the staircase of the downstairs, the echoes kind of carry a little bit, unfortunately, so I had to close my door a lot of times when I do stream. And she doesn't like that, so she continues to holler at my door until I open it. Unfortunately. And I'm just like, Macy, you can just come in here and sit with me. She's like, no, I don't want to. I'm like, okay. So, she's a little bit of a brat sometimes, but I love her to death. Meanwhile, her brother's just kind of just sitting out there. He was like, I'm just chilling. I'm just big chilling. I'll never understand those two. Alright. They are absolutely adorable, and I love my little babies. Strider, welcome on in, my dearie. Hello, hello. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well tonight. Welcome on in, lovely. It's good to see you. And you. Speaking of which, 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Now why are we bonking me? Why are we bonking a Nini? What did I do wrong? Excuse me. Why are we bonking a Nini? No bonking a Nini. It is cozy time for the Nini. No. Which button was it? No. Oh. I break everything on my freaking, Oh, I did. Yes. Right button. First try. Second try. Close enough. It is cozy time for the Nini. Actually, speaking of which, I'm gonna just keep the cozy time on. We're gonna keep the cozy on. Okay, well, we're almost done here, so let's continue on, shall we? Firepaw picked up the other two, and the friends turned and headed back through the tunnel. Look, Smiley called after them. Travel safely. They arrived at the entrance to their den and dropped the bundles. Well, I just hope these herbs don't taste too revolting, muttered Greypaw. Oh, Uncle Faded, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to Strays, my dearie. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, my dearie. No, I just hope these herbs don't taste too revolting, muttered Greypaw. It must be a long way to the Moonstone. We've never been given herbs before. Do you know where it is? Firepaw asked. Beyond the clan territory, a place called High Stones. It lies deep underground, in a cave we call Mothermouth. Have you been there before? Firepaw was impressed. That Greypaw knew so much about the mysterious place. No, not all apprentices have to make the journey there before they become warriors. The thought of becoming a warrior made Firepaw's eyes gleam with excitement, and he couldn't help standing a little taller. Get your hopes up. Oh, why that didn't kick off? There it is. I was gonna say, like, I pop up. Logically Faded, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you. Enjoy your awesome emotes and your ad-free streams. The thought of becoming a warrior made Firepaw's eyes gleam with excitement, and he couldn't help standing a little taller. Get your hopes up. We still have to finish our training. Firepaw warned, as if reading his thoughts. Firepaw looked up through the canopy of leaves at the stars glittering in the black sky above. Moon high had passed. We should get some sleep, he mewed. But he couldn't imagine being able to sleep with the thought of tomorrow's adventure spinning through his mind. Attending the gathering, a journey to the Moonstone, How far away his kitty pet life seemed now. Play those awesome emotes, my dearie. Alright, chat. We're on the last chapter for tonight. What is actually gonna be a little bit of a shorter one. Well, let's get to chapter 15 and we'll head off for the night. The cold air chilled Firepaw's bones as blackness wrapped itself around him. He could hear nothing. His nostrils were filled with a musty scent of damp earth. Out of nowhere, a brilliant ball of light flared in front of him. Firepaw ducked his head, screwing up his eyes against the glare. The light shone, dazzling coldly like a star, and it blinked out, disappearing as quickly as it come. Darkness fell away, and Firepaw found himself in the forest. He felt comforted by the familiar smells of the woods. He breathed in the moist green scents, and the calmness flowed through his body. Without warning, a dreadful noise burst from the trees. Firepaw's fur bristled. There was screeching of terrified cats racing out from the bushes up ahead. Firepaw recognized their ThunderClan pelts. They fled past him. Stood, rooted to the spot, unable to move. Then came great cats, huge dark warriors, pounding the earth with massive paws, their claws unsheathed. And out of the shadows, Firepaw heard a high, desperate cry filled with grief and rage. Great Paw! Firepaw woke, horrified. His dream vanished, leaving his ears ringing and his fur standing on end. As he opened his eyes, he saw the face of Tigerpaw peering into the den. Firepaw leaped to his feet immediately. Firepaw leaped to his feet, instantly alert. Something wrong, Firepaw? Asked Tigerpaw. Just a dream, Firepaw mumbled. Tigerpaw gave him a curious look and growled, "Wake the others. We leave shortly." Outside the den, the sky glowed with the new dawn, and dew sparkled on the ferns. It would be a warm day once the sun was up. The early morning dampness reminded Firepaw that the time of leaf fall was not far off. Firepaw, Greypaw, and Ravenpaw quickly gulped down the herbs that Spotlight had given them. Tigerclaw and Bluestar sat watching them, ready to leave. The rest of the camp was still asleep. Ugh, complained Greypaw. I know they'd be better. Why couldn't we eat a fat, juicy mouse instead? These herbs will keep your hunger at bay longer, answered Bluestar, and they will make you strong. We have a long journey ahead of us. Have you eaten yours already? Firepaw asked. I cannot eat if I'm not going to share dreams with ShadowClan at Moonstone tonight, said Bluestar. Firepaw felt his paws tingle when he heard these words. He was itching to begin his journey. The dawn's light and the familiar voices. Terror of his dreams. Terror of his dream had left him. All that remained was the memory of the brilliant light. And Bluestar's words sent a renewed thrilling of excitement through him. The 5 cats made their way through the gorse tunnel and out of the camp. Lionheart was just returning with patrol. Safe journey, he meowed. Bluestar nodded. I know I can trust you to keep the camp safe, she answered. Lionheart looked at Greypaw and dipped his head. Remember, he meowed, you are almost a warrior. Don't forget what I have taught you. Greypaw looked back at Lionheart with affection. I will always remember Lionheart, he meowed, nudging his head against the tabby's broad golden flank. I'm gonna take a sip of my water real quick. Much better. Okay, I can feel my voice cracking a little bit right there. Okay, they retraced their route to 4 trees. This was the quickest way to pass into the WindClan territory. Ice stones lay beyond. As Firepaw bounded down the side of the glade toward the great rock, he could still smell the scents of the last night's gathering. He followed the others to the grassy clearing and up the slope on the other side into WindClan territory. The bushy slope became steeper as they climbed, and rockier until the cats had to leap from boulder to boulder up the side of a ragged cliff face. Firepaw paused when they reached the top. Ahead of them, the ground flattened out into a wide plateau. The wind blew into a steady gust that rippled the grass and bent the trees. The land was stony, and outcroppings of bare rock dotted the landscape here and there. I could not read there for a second. The air still carried the sense of WindClan, but they were stale. Much fresher and more alarming were the purgent markings of ShadowClan warriors. All clans are entitled to safe passes to the Moonstone, but ShadowClan seems to have no respect for the warrior. Over warrior code anymore. So be alert, warned Bluestar. We mustn't hunt outside our territory, though we'll follow the warrior code even if ShadowClan doesn't. He set off across the plateau as the sun rose into the sky, falling tracks through the heather. Firepaw had grown used to living under the canopy of trees. Without their shade, his flame-colored pellet felt heavy and hot. His back seemed to burn. He was thankful for the steady breeze blowing from the forest behind. Suddenly, Tiger stopped dead. "Watch out," he hissed. "I'll ShadowClan patrol." Firepaw and the others lifted their noses, and sure enough, the scent of ShadowClan warriors traveled on the wind. "They are upwind. They won't know we are here if we keep moving," meowed Bluestar. "But we must hurry. If they move ahead, they'll detect us. Not far to the edge of WindClan territory now." They moved on quickly, leaving over the rocks, pushing their way through the sweet-smelling heather. Every few steps, Firepaw sniffed the air and glanced over his shoulder. On the lookout for ShadowClan patrol, but gradually the odor grew fainter and fainter. Must have turned back, he thought with relief. Finally, they reached the edge of the uplands. The landscape changed dramatically, shaped and altered beyond recognition by two legs. White earth crisscrossed green and golden meadow. Small woods dotted the land, and two-legged nests were scattered here and there among the fields. In the distance, Firepaw saw a familiar, wide gray path, and an acid tang that stung his throat drifted on the breeze. "Is that the Thunder Path?" he asked Graypaw. "Yes," replied Graypaw. "It runs from the ShadowClan territory, and you see high stones behind it." Firepaw looked at the distant horizon. The land rose sharply up to a point, jagged and barren. "We have to cross the Thunder Path then." "Yep," meowed Graypaw. His voice was strong and confident, almost cheerful. They faced a difficult journey. "Come on," Bluestar meowed. He bounded forward. "We can be there by moonrise, as long as we keep up the pace." Firepaw followed with the others, down the hill, away from the bleak hunting grounds of WindClan and into the lush, tree-like territory. Keeping near the hedges, the cats walked on. Once or twice, Firepaw could smell prey scent from the bushes. The Spiley's herbs had succeeded in taking the edge off his hunger. The sun was still hot on his back, even in the shadows of the hedgerows. They skittered a two-legged nest, still on a wide expansion of hard white stone. Smaller nests around the edges. Keeping low, the cats crept past the fence that surrounded the white stone. A sudden barrage of barking and snarling made them spin around. Dogs. Firepaw's heart missed a beat. He arched his back, fur bristling from nose to tail. One second. close friend of mine messaged me about stream. She's like, "No, are you still going?" I'm like, "Yes, still alive, I promise." She's like, "I'll be there soon if I can." I'm like, bet. See, oh, speaking of which. Oh, I love her. That's alright. Tied up here. They're tied up, he hissed. Firepaw looked at the two dogs scrabbling on the stone, barely ten tail lengths away. They were nothing like the pampered pets that lived in the gardens of the two-legged place. These creatures stared at him with wild, killing eyes. They strained at their ties and reared up on their hind legs. They growled and barked, their lips drawn back to reveal huge teeth until the shout of unseen two-legs silenced them. Cats moved on. The sun was beginning to sink by the time they reached the thunder path. Bluestar signaled to them to stop and wait beneath the hedge, his eyes and throat stinging from the fumes. Firepaw watched as the great monsters flashed to and fro in front of them. "We'll go one at a time," meowed Tigerclaw. "Ravenpaw, you first." "No, Tigerclaw." Sir interrupted. "I will go first. Forget, this will be the first time of crossing for the apprentices. Let them see how it is done." Firepaw stared at his leader as she padded to the edge of the thunder path and looked up and down. She waited calmly. Alex Dickerson 44, thank you for the follow. Welcome to streams, my dear. Thank you so much. How you doing tonight, Alex? It's good to meet you, my dearie. Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. One monster after another flew past her, puffing her fur. And when the ear-splitting roar paused for a moment, he raced across to the other side. "Off you go, Ravenpaw. Now you've seen how it's done," meowed Tigerclaw. Firepaw saw Ravenpaw's eyes widen with fear. He knew just how his friend felt. He could smell his own fear scent. The black cat crept forward to the edge of the road. It was quiet, but Ravenpaw hesitated. "Doing good tonight too, thank you. It's a little bit of a rough week for me, so I'm happy to be able to be here tonight and doing some nice little story time with you guys. So just trying to enjoy the night. We're gonna be having ads in just a few minutes here, folks. Actually, I'm going to just run the ads real quick here. It gives me a chance to stand up and stretch real quick. We'll be right back after these ads, my dearies. 1 second there. 1 second, I'm just gonna make my model disappear for just a second or two, just so I can get some quick stretches in myself. So give me 1 second, chat. my goodness. Welcome back from the ass, everybody. Hi, Jay. Welcome, welcome. Welcome on in, my dearie. A Dorito ad, that's it. Brother Dorito. Oh, that sounds so good right now, actually. Nacho cheese. Oh, cheese Doritos are like the best ones. I don't care what anyone else says. They're like the best ones. Give me a cool. Yeah, that too, exactly. Alright, continue on, my dearies. We're actually almost done with the chapter tonight, so let's go ahead and finish up strong. And we'll go ahead and read out for the night afterwards. Hi, Jay. Welcome in, love. How are you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. We are currently on chapter 14 right now. Bluestar and Firepaw are heading down to Moonstone right now. So... Great, I love the series so much. Exactly, yes. I honestly love this book series. Oh, here it is. I was on the wrong page there. Off you go, Ravenpaw. Now you see how it's done. Meow, Tiger Claw. Firepaw saw Ravenpaw's eyes widen with fear. He knew just how his friend felt. He could smell his own fierce scent. The small black cat crept forward to the end of the road. It was quiet, but Ravenpaw hesitated. Go, said Tiger Claw from the hedge. Firepaw saw Ravenpaw's muscles tighten as he prepared to run, and the ground began to tremble beneath his paws. A monster sped out of the distance and hurled past. Black Cat shrank back for a moment and pelted over to join Bluestar. The monster coming in the other direction threw dust up, and where his paws had just had a heartbeat before, Firepaw felt his fur shiver and he took a deep breath to calm himself. Greypaw was lucky. A long lull let him cross safely, and it was Firepaw's turn. Go on then, growled Tigerclaw. Firepaw looked from Tigerclaw to the Thunder Path, and then walked out from beneath the hedge. He waited at the edge, as Bluestar had done. The monster was rushing past towards him. Firepaw looked at the approaching monster. After this one, he thought, and waited for it to pass. Suddenly, his heart lurched as he realized the monster had veered off the Thunder Path and was bumping along the grass. It headed straight for him. The two-leg was jeering from an opening in its side. Firepaw leaped backward, paws out, battered by the storm of wind, and the two-leg monster as it roared past him only a whisker away. He crouched, trembling in the dirt, and stared as it swerved back onto the path and disappeared into the distance. Though, through the roaring of blood in his ears, Firepaw realized the Thunder Path was quiet again, and he raced across, running faster than he had ever done in his life. I thought you were a fresh kill, cried Greypaw, as Firepaw handed into him, almost knocking him over. Me too. Firepaw gasped. He was trying to stop shaking. He turned back to watch Tigerclaw dart over the path toward them. Two legs. He spat as he arrived at their side. Do you want to rest before we go on? Bluestar asked Firepaw. Firepaw looked up. The sun was low in the sky. No, he answered. I'm okay. But he had leaped so friendly out of the monster's way that his claws felt frayed and tender. The cats carried on, with Bluestar in the lead. The earth was darker on this side of the Thunder Path, and the grass felt coarser underpaw. As they approached a foot of high stones, the grass gave way to bare, rocky soil, dotted with patches of heather. The land sloped up now, toward the sky. Craggy rocks topped the slope, blazing orange in the sun. Bluestar stopped once more. She was a sun-warmed rock to sit upon, flat and wide enough for all 5 cats to rest side by side. Look, she meowed, tilting her nose toward the dark slope. For them, mother mouth. Firepaw peered upward. The glare of the setting sun blinded him, and the slope was engulfed in shadow. The cats waited in silence. Gradually, as the sun dropped down behind high stones, Firepaw began to make out the cave entrance, a square black hole that yawned darkly beneath the stone archway. "We'll wait here until the moon is higher," said Bluestar. You should hunt if you are hungry, and then get some rest." Firepaw was pleased to have a chance to find food. He was starving now. Firepaw clearly felt the same, and leaped away into a clump of heather, following the prey scent that was thick in the air. Firepaw and Ravenpaw followed him. Their claws set off in the opposite direction, but Bluestar remained where she was. She sat still and silent, gazing unblinkingly at the mother mouth. The 3 apprentices gathered plenty of fresh kill. With tiger claw, they crouched on the stony hillside and feasted. But in spite of their easy hunt, no cat said much. The air still felt thick with tension and anticipation. Afterwards, the cats rested beside their leader until the warmth had seeped of the rock on which they lay, and cold black shadows reached up on all sides. Only then did Bluestar call out, it is time." That is where we are going to end off for the night there. Trust me, I don't want to stop reading either myself, truthfully, but I'm also getting a tad hungry, truthfully, myself, so... And we are on a really, really good cliffhanger for tomorrow, truthfully. So, it's gonna be more exciting. So, see what's gonna happen later. But yeah, we got, a lot going on right now for, little Firepaw. Lots going on right now, with Wind Clan currently missing, and ShadowClan making their declaration to have hunting privileges in the other clans, which is a little bit of a huge no-no, truthfully. So it is going to be a wild ride to see what happens with them, and what the story is going to tap, and where the story is going to take place afterwards with Firepaw. Now the question is, will Firepaw become a warrior in the next few chapters? Here is the question. But in the meantime, folks, I am going to head and read you guys out to someone. I hope you all enjoyed the bedtime stories tonight. I will be making the new schedule tonight, and I will be posting into Discord as well, so that way you guys have an update on what the next streams are going to be like next week. So looking forward to that. Speaking of which, for anyone new in chat here, we do have a Discord if you want to hop on over, get to know me off stream, get to know the community, get to know when I go live notifications, and also get to know a nice little community as well. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Good job, me. I also have a YouTube spot channel as well. If you want to check out the first couple of VODs of my ASMR stream to see chapter 1 or the Warriors chat, or the Warriors book, if you guys want to check that out. Also, I've done a lot of other stuff as on there as well. I also get to see how I actually sound like when I'm not doing my ASMR either. Definitely night and day from what people have said. But in the meantime, folks, I'm gonna head and oh. Hi, Cobalt, welcome in, my dear. How are you doing tonight? Welcome on in, raiders. Hello. Oh, you were ending? Yeah, I was about to raid out, but don't worry. Hi, Cobalt. Hello, my dear. It's good to see you. Thank you for the raid regardless, my dear. Don't worry. I will be sending your community off to another good fellow streamer. I promise. But thank you so much, Cobalt. How you doing, lovely? Welcome in, raiders. If you don't know who I am, my name's Nini the Neko. I'm your local stray cat on idol. I'm a little variety streamer. Those are variety of games, such as RPG games, horror games, rhythm games, visual novels, and games I will show you all. I was actually just in the middle of doing some bedtime stories with you, with everyone tonight. We were reading the Warriors Into the Wild book series. We have actually just finished up chapter 14 for tonight, which is getting really insane for what's going on right now with the book. Doing well, just got done with the shorter community night. Oh, we love the community nights. Yippee! I hope community night went really well for you, Cobalt. I'm super excited for when you debut your official model too. I'm so excited. But Cobalt, thank you so much for the raid, my dearie. I remember the Warriors book being very interested for what it is. Exactly, yeah. My close friend Jay is a huge fan of the Warriors series. She's actually the one who actually got me into this book series. And I ended up getting the first 3 volumes. I stopped like right in the middle of the second book series, the second book for my second volume, and I stopped reading that after that. But I started reading it for chat because I wanted to do more ASMR bedtime stories, and I figured, hey, might as well read the Warriors book because it's allowed on stream. Exactly, yeah, it's literally Game of Thrones but cats. But Cobalt, thank you so much for the raid, my dearie. Thank you so much. If anyone from Cobalt's raid has to take care of after stream stuff, don't worry one little bit. I'll be sure to be sending you guys off to a wonderful other streamer I know here. So I hope you guys are able to enjoy his company over there. But thank you again so much for the raid, my dearie. Smooches to you. Annyeong. We are going to go ahead and go raid out tonight to Enzio Argento. He is currently playing Pragmata right now, actually. Also another wonderful, lovely VTuber with a very soft, manly voice. Enzio's is super nice. He is a bartender VTuber, so I'm going to be sending you guys out to him tonight. Like I said, he is currently playing Pragmata right now. Space Daddy continues. Wonderful bartender VTuber with a wonderful voice to soothe you guys for the night. So we're gonna say hello to him. If anyone wants to participate in the raid tonight, the first raid message for all my I hit the wrong button. Good job, me. No. The first raid message for all my subscribers. And if you are not subscribed to the channel at all, you can go ahead and copy down that second raid message there. That is gonna be it for me tonight, folks. Thank you all for coming out today, and I will see you all tomorrow for more bedtime stories. But for right now, have a good night and sayonara, ducky ducky, annyeong.